it's been an amazing gift. Like I said, I waited a long time to find that group.
Well, we're actually started with our tea, so we'll start with our tea. So
Okay.
what kind of tea are you drinking? Oh,
You know what?
well, first I should say welcome. Welcome everybody to the new mid-afternoon tea. I have my guest Robin here, so excited, and we are drinking tea. What kind of tea do you have?
You know what? I am not sure what I have. My daughter made it for me before I came and sat down, but it's from the tea company downtown Frederick that I got it from. So she
Oh,
steeped it for me. So
I
it's
love
very
that.
yummy.
Well, we can put it in we'll put the name of the tea company in the notes,
Okay, that
comments,
would be
so that
great.
people can know
Yes.
where to get it. They have the
Yeah.
best green tea, and I can't remember the name of it, but it is just delicious. And it's so funny because I got that green tea from Serendipity, down the street, that restaurant. So
Oh,
they get their teas from the tea
from
company.
there?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
so
Wonderful.
delicious. So
So,
cheers.
yeah, cheers.
Well, Robin, I am just so grateful that you are here. And I wanted to talk about, the reason why I'm started these teas on Fridays actually is to build community. Because I sent out a survey when we first went into the stay-at-home order and asking people how they were doing and how they felt, and wanted to just kind of take the temperature, because the new mid group is all about supporting each other, what we're going through. And now that we're in this whole quarantine, it's the support is needed more now than ever. I mean, we know that this is not easy. We know we're struggling, especially the moms who are working and doing homeschool learning, or just doing homeschool learning is enough
Right.
to send you over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put out that survey, one of the people replied they felt isolated. And so I was doing these teas to kind of bring us all together and, have some fun. So I'm so grateful that you are joining me today. And I wanted to ask you, what did you think? What was your thought process when you heard that you were going to have to stay at home? Like, how did that hit you?
Right. So, I mean, just like everyone else, it was, a little bit scary when the seriousness of everything was coming through. I work from home, so I am home during the day, but I do, go out. So, having that taken away was going to be a challenge. I was so grateful because my oldest daughter, who currently lives in California, she surprised us right before the stay-at-home order came through, and she ended up staying. So she's
So
here.
that wasn't on purpose. That kind of came out of the
No, no,
blue.
no. It was a God thing. I really feel like, she had that her angels looking out, because she came home. I had earned a trip for an incentive trip for my work, and my husband and I got home from the Bahamas that night at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday,
Oh my God.
and Bailey walked through my back door as we were putting things down here and saying hi to our youngest son, who's 18. And so that was Tuesday, and she was coming for a long weekend. She was just surprising us for a long weekend. And then that was the Friday that the president spoke Wednesday evening. And then that Friday was the kid's last day of school, my husband's last day at work. He's working at home now. So, I mean, I was comforted in knowing that she was here, safe,
Right.
because that was my first thought, like, if she gets sick, or does she have enough? Because when she was going home on that Monday. So we went shopping that next day, and I bought all this like Theraflu and all this stuff for her to take back with her, a thermometer, all that stuff. So I was just very thankful that she was here with us.
Oh, I bet. Because, one of the things that is really kind of scary about this disease, and we don't need to dwell on it, but if you get sick, you have to go to the hospital alone. I mean, you can't, normally at least family can go with you. So it must be a peace of mind that you had her there and you didn't have to worry about her being across the country. That is so
So,
huge.
so much so, because I mean, having to send them to the hospital by themselves, I mean, that's what's made me so like very strict following everything now, because I don't want to have to face that, sending
Right.
the kids to the hospital, or my husband, on their own.
I know. So you tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure.
What you do.
Yep. So I work with Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski. It's a jewelry company owned by a direct sales, direct to consumer, a company owned by Swarovski Crystal. So Swarovski's been around for like 125 years. It's almost everybody knows who Swarovski is, and about 10 or so years ago, we opened up this direct-to-consumer business called Touchstone. So my job, and it's really my job, it doesn't feel like it, but I just go to women's homes and we set up in the kitchen or the family room or dining room, and they invite their girlfriends over and we play in jewelry. We play in beautiful jewelry. So that's what I do. I have close to 600 women across the country on our team. So we're in many of the states across the United States. So I've always been in some sort of direct sales ever since Bailey was 10 months old. But this company I've been with now for 4 years, and it's grown very wonderfully. I love it.
Well, that must have been really kind of shocking for you then, having the stay at home, because now you're not going to other people's homes.
Right.
So
So
you really had to kind of pivot. So how did you pivot, and how were you talking to your team?
yeah, so that was a big pivot, but luckily we have an amazing corporate staff that built a new business platform for us. So having a team nationally, I was used to Zoom. We would hold our org meetings, and I would do coaching calls with girls throughout the country on Zoom. So I was already familiar with that.
Oh
But
my gosh, well, I have to interrupt you just for a second, because
yeah,
you are one of the few that was new Zoom. I mean, I have such a huge learning curve with Zoom. I don't know if any of you other out there feel this way. And if you do, give us a thumbs up for Zoom. I'd love to see
yeah, oh my
it.
gosh. Thank goodness for Zoom. And at the beginning, right? So we built this new platform where we're doing virtual parties. So we're still getting together. Like our business is so relational, and like what you were saying at the beginning, like that feeling of isolation and just being alone, whether you were alone or just wanted some girl time. We've had to figure out a way to still do that, because even though it's a fun jewelry gig, it's still my job. It pays a lot of bills. It put my oldest through college, and it's going to help with my youngest. So I had to figure that out. But the Zoom thing it was a learning curve for a lot of my hostesses and guests who would come on. But what was really cool about it, and what helped with the mindset with our team, because if you remember back 5 weeks ago, it was pretty, I mean, it still is very scary, but we were very in a sense of uncertainty, not knowing where this was leading us. And people weren't sure about asking other women to host parties or spend money, because people were being furloughed or laid off. So our whole purpose, right, was to connect women. That's like our mission anyway, is to connect women, and the jewelry is our way to do that. The jewelry is like a bonus of girls getting together. But we were able to teach people how to Zoom. If you remember that first networking group we had, we weren't really, there were a lot of girls who were like, how do we do this? And so we but that I'm very proud of that a lot of our girls taught people how to connect that way. But for the girls, like what I talked to them about was meeting, because our company did a great job putting this platform out for us that we can do these virtual parties in our pajamas or, have these little happy hours. But the thing is that we needed to meet our customers where they were, because everybody was at a different place. And what I was finding is that a lot of the team were meeting people where they were psychologically, not where so much where the customer was. So that was a very introspective way of like figuring out how we were going to get through this. So for the first couple weeks,
how do you get your mindset okay?
Yeah.
Because your business is completely changed. You're all at home now.
Yeah.
You're homeschooling. So what would you say, Robin? How did Robin get her? Because now you're having to encourage people.
Right.
So, and everything has changed for you, and people are looking to you, for support. So how, Robin, how did you get your mindset in the right place?
Yeah, well, I pretty much said I didn't have a choice, right? I had to figure this out. And I knew that we had a gift. We have a gift connecting women, and that's what we did. And I have retired jewelry. We gave jewelry away. We had little sparkle blingo parties, and it was just our, dipping our toe in the water, connecting people that way. But like I said, I mean, this is my career. It sounds like a fun gig, and it is, but I knew I had to figure it out for myself and the team, or we weren't going to be working.
Right.
Just like the restaurants figured out doing carry out when they couldn't, have people come in.
Yeah, you had to pivot.
We had to pivot quickly, very quickly.
I think some of your gals might be here. Gail's here. Gail Novak and Kim Plummer is here.
Yes.
Said
Yes.
hi. And
hi, girls.
Want to say hi? Kim Wilson's here. Hi, Kim. And Diane Conklin. Hi, Diane. Oh, Misty's on too. Hi. If you guys want to give us a heart or a thumbs up, we would love to see the hearts and thumbs up. So this is sort of taking our conversation a little bit deeper. You are really inspiring to me, Robin, and I know a lot of people, because in your life you've dealt with some pretty serious loss. You lost your 10-year-old son, and that was not easy. So I know it's been about 13 years now, but could you talk to us a little bit about that and how, you and your family sort of kept going
Sure.
after that?
Yeah. So, so that's Jeff. And I'm sorry if I start to cry, I apologize. Sometimes I can talk without crying, but sometimes that happens. So it will be 13 years in June that we lost Jeffrey. He was 10, and it was rather quickly that we lost him. He had a blood clotting problem that we did not know about. So my daughter was 12, and my youngest was 5 when we lost Jeffrey. And it was, it was just a horrible thing that you can't imagine, right? And
every parent's nightmare. It's every parent's nightmare.
I had heard that phrase so many times before and never truly understood it. And so I we kind of several things that have changed the course of our life from that moment. We couldn't do anything about the outcome, when we were in the hospital and had the doctors had told us that he probably wasn't going to live any longer. I said something out loud that I regret saying, but I think it's really just changed the course of our lives and my family's life, and that I said out loud, I didn't think I could go on. And I looked over my shoulder and my daughter was there. And I looked at her and I said to myself, I did not want my kids to feel resentment towards their brother for our lives changing so much. Because I knew it was, things were about to really, really change. We were always a close family. But I can proudly say now that we are so tight and we live every day with joy and thankfulness. We do not go to bed mad. So I said my daughter was 12 at the time, and I remember us getting into an argument after that and over something, and I I would not let her go to sleep until we were cool, right? And I remember her saying, "Okay, Mom, I'm fine. I'm not mad at you anymore." Because, it's things like that, like not going to bed mad, because we know life can change in an instant. So having that moment where I didn't know if I could go on, and then seeing my daughter sitting there, hearing that, I, I said, okay, we're going to live our lives for Jeff in happiness and joy. And we always said we're a family of 5. We told him that, in the hospital, and we are a family of 5. I have 3 kids, and we celebrate all of them. So
So
yeah.
how do you think that helped you with this situation too? How has
Yeah.
that helped you with life, dealing with life?
Well, nothing seems as bad as it, like where my mind always goes to what's really bad, right? So, having to stay in to keep us safe is something we did, we just do. And like you mentioned at the beginning, having the thought of having to send one of my kids to the hospital by themselves, like I couldn't do that, so I'm with the mask and the gloves, and I had to go to the post office yesterday, which I really have not been doing anything. I've been doing some Instacart grocery shopping and that kind of stuff, but Evan had a scholarship.
How is the Instacart going?
It's been great for us. So I've used Costco, Aldi, Target, and Wegmans. And
Wow.
yeah, it's all been fine. And the Costco, Target, and Aldi deliver very quickly. Wegmans takes a little longer. And some things aren't available and that you can give replacements for it. But in the long run, I probably might keep doing it, because I think I probably spend more money going to the store and getting impulse things, So it's been nice. And you can tip on there, so it's giving income to somebody else. So, I'm not sure what their situation is. Maybe they were a server at a restaurant and now they're doing, Instacart. So I feel like that's a give
So I
back.
was gonna ask our Facebook people, have you guys used any of the Instacarts or delivery services? I'd be really interested to see who else has done that. It'd be fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So tell me now, with your business, so how is it going? How are your ladies doing? How is that? Is that bringing joy to people? Like, are you
Yeah.
still, how is that happening?
So 5 or 6 weeks later, they're doing amazing. We are, obviously we're not growing at the same pace we were before all of this, but I'm so proud of them. We have been building, our party counts up and partying in, like I said, in our jammies and with our cocktails or tea or coffee or whatever it might be. And so business is going well, and it's been interesting because for the most part, the business before this was always in home. And someone might ask me, can I do this online? And my first thought, or, words back to them was, the best way to do this is in someone's home, because you can actually, see the sparkle, and
You have a little bit of sparkle on.
It's hard to show that sparkle online. You can see it, but putting it on, it's a little different. But we have a great return policy, so if somebody doesn't like something, or it's a wrong size ring or something like that, that can be handled. But I'm super proud of them. And I will tell you, one major bridge has been fundraising. I've talked to you about it before, Michelle. Fundraising is so important to us. We were connected with the Community Foundation of Frederick County soon after we lost Jeffrey, and put our efforts into building a baseball field here in Newmarket for him. And we have a scholarship in his name that's open to graduates from Linganore and Oakdale High School. And so that's always been something near to us. And I am so proud of our team because we can offer fundraisers as a party option, where the girls give back part of their profits to a fund. And I think in this time too, people are thinking, if they get a little bit of sparkle for themselves, either for Mother's Day or a graduation gift, because those poor seniors, breaks my heart. I have a senior boy.
I know, I feel so bad for the class of 2020. I really do. But I just want to say, Becky was saying that she's excited about fundraising. So Becky gives a big yay. And
yeah, so Becky has a big fundraiser this weekend with the American Heart Association.
Oh, that's so great.
Kim, who's listening from Texas, she just did a huge fundraiser for the San Antonio Food Bank, where the food banks are amazing, what they can do with $1, how many mouths that really can feed. And,
that is just incredible. That is so fun. And it's funny to see, because there are people that are starting to, Misty Brown says she's been using delivery service for over a year. So good for you, Misty.
Yeah, she's ahead of us, right?
Yes, she's definitely ahead of us. And I know I've been thinking about using the delivery service. I haven't yet. I've seen it in our neighborhood. So
they've been fantastic. It's really been great. So I would highly recommend it.
That is awesome. Well, it's interesting, talking about the fundraising, you and I have talked, and we have an announcement that we want to make, is it's interesting. I've been having dreams, and I've been doing a lot of praying actually about women who might be in an abusive situation during this quarantine, and also about kids. So my heart I've been doing a lot of praying, and it's really important to me. So when we talk to each other, I thought, hey, let's do a fundraiser for Hartley House, which is a house for women who are able to get out of their abusive situation, and they help them get on their feet. So we are excited to announce that we are going to have a jewelry party on Wednesday night at 7:00. And so, Robin, what are the details for that?
So I will send you like a Zoom link for that. And really and I guess, I don't know, can you post it in this or on your
I'll post it
page? Or
yeah.
So it's basically just like this. So Zoom, if you have a laptop, you don't need to download anything. You just click the link and you're in the party. If you are going to join us by your phone or an iPad, you need to download the Zoom app, which is free. And I can send instructions if you don't know how to do that. It's very easy. And that's it. So we will join together at 7:00. I think it's the 29th.
Yes.
Eastern Standard Time. And we will share some girlfriend time. I'll share some jewelry and tips and trends of fashion and things like that. And should you want to purchase anything, there's no obligation, but know that proceeds from that party will go to Hartley House.
Yes.
So yeah.
And it'll
And then
just be
the jewelry comes straight to you. It's wonderful. It ships right to the customer.
Oh, that is so perfect. I'm so excited to have a sparkly time. Maybe we can also have wine too, which would be great. You know,
Oh,
that
yes.
could be really fun. We could have a
I
little
highly
wine.
recommend that.
So that'll
And
be
it will still be for eligible for Guaranteed Mom's Day delivery. That's through May 3rd. So if anybody wants to purchase that special gift for mom, then we can place that order and it can go right to her.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea because I don't know what to get my mom. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that works out great. Oh my gosh, Robin, this has been so amazing having you talk, and you're so inspiring, and you just
Aww.
give off so much joy and light. I'm so appreciative. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. I love you, and
I
I
love
appreciate you having me on to chat with you.
Yay!
And I'm excited about raising lots of money for Hartley House. I think that will make us feel good and know that we're doing some really good stuff, because like you, I really worry about that as well.
Yes, I do. I pray for them all the time, every day. You know, I'm thinking about them, and so that will be fun, and it'll be a really good time to hang out with everybody too. I'm looking forward to that Wednesday night. And I just wanted to let people know that I had a podcast. My podcast dropped at 3:00 Eastern time, and it's all about getting to know yourself a little bit better. And I also have a link for a free audio book for, if you've ever seen this book. I know it has a bad word in it, but it's a really good book actually, and I really would love people to listen to it. So if you go to my website, thenewmid.com, there's a free Audible download, so you can get this book for free in an Audible way. So that
Wonderful.
I just wanted to mention that. So that's kind of fun, a fun freebie.
Yeah, I can share that on my Touchstone Crystal VIP page too for you.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Well, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Becky. Bye, Janet. So we'll see everyone later.
Bye. Thank you so much, Michelle.